Hello, welcome to another You Ask, I Answer. Over the past few weeks, I have gotten some form of these questions a few times. And it's not a surprise because how hot Miles Morales has been and all the key books relate to Miles Morales has been, right? So I'm not surprised that I have gotten this question a few times. And if I had to summarize all of the similar questions, it boils down to is the rise of Miles Morales has any part in the decline in Amazing Fantasy 15? Are people seeing the future in Miles Morales and decided that that's where the money should go, that's where the big return is going to be, so they rather invest, speculate, gamble in Miles Morales' book than Amazing Fantasy 15. And that's why Amazing Fantasy 15 has been struggling recently. There's three parts to my answers, okay? And once again, it's just my opinions. I could be completely wrong. I'm sure sooner or later someone in the comment section would say, you're full of it, nonsense, I'm right, you wrong, blah, blah, blah. You know how the internet is, okay? So, but here's the first part. First of all, Amazing Fantasy 15 has been on a long declining trend since December, give or take a few weeks if you want to. Go back and check the data. December of 2018. So the decline of that book, as well as other major keys, whether it's gold to copper to modern to bronze and silver, many books, big books, Hulk 181, you name it, has been declining for 18 months. Okay? And sure, in the last 2 or 3 months, things have stabilized. Some books has reversed and went up. Some book is still going down a little bit. Many books are kind of flatlining, so maybe the bottom is in. I'm not calling the bottom. I'm just saying that maybe it's in for some of the books. But regardless, the decline started a year and a half ago, long before the current hot trend of Miles Morales. So first point, I don't think it has anything to do with Miles Morales as far as how it impacted Amazing Fantasy 15 over the past year and a half. Okay? Now, the second point, and I talked about this before. The segment of the collectors in either market, those that chase after Amazing Fantasy 15 and those that chase after hot modern books, are two different segments of the market. I'm not saying that there are not some outliers individual that like to be top dogs in both ends. Okay, I'm not saying that there are not dudes out there that have money to burn and like the bragging rights to have everything from Amazing Fantasy 15 to the latest Miles Morales hot books. I'm aware there are some people out there that are like that, but they are not the majority. There are outliers. It's nothing wrong with being an outliers, okay? But basically what I'm saying is I think the majority of the people that are spending 50, 60, $100,000 on big books are not the same people that are chasing, flipping, getting all excited over a $500 or a $600 Miles Morales first appearances. Agree or disagree? Okay, so it's different beast, different segments. So how one segment of the market behave is different from another segment. The deep pocket player may be concerned about the economy, or they rather put money in the stock market, who knows? Or real estate, who knows? Okay, I don't know what they're doing with their money. All I know is it has been a long time, year and a half plus, where the money are not chasing or bidding up those big books. because they had a huge run up. And I talk about this endlessly in 2018. The run up from 2016 through most of 2018 on many big books were crazy, double. Okay, so it's hard to see those kind of books double in 2 or 3 years span and not give back 20 or 30% of that gain over the past year and a half. Okay, so that's the second point. The third point is, regardless how hot Miles Morales is, the one thing that is still important, if not more important, because without that, he's nothing, is what? Spider-Man. Okay? Regardless if the Amazing Fantasy 15 was a different Spider-Man, Peter Parker, without that, okay, without that, there is no Miles Morales Spider-Man. So history will always going to show that that book is significantly much more important than Miles Morales' first appearance as Spider-Man, because without Amazing Fantasy 15, without the original Spider-Man, without the word Spider-Man ever been used and created, you wouldn't have Miles Morales as Spider-Man. So over time, that's going to be, what history will show. There's no doubt Miles Morales' first appearances is more recognized now than ever. It's a good thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but at the same time, it will not diminish the significance of Amazing Fantasy 15 in my opinion. Once again, I could be wrong, but to sum up all 3 points I just said, ultimately, it is dependent on the future generations. Okay? I said this in countless videos. In this hobby, as in any hobbies, it's always dependent on the future collectors. Many are not even in this hobby yet to determine what something is worth. Okay? It's always that way. And my hunch is that regardless, if we look down 10, 20, 30, 50 years, it's still going to be Amazing Fantasy 15 that people will talk about the most. Think about this before I go. When it comes down to hockey, sport card, okay, we have new superstar every year. Okay? Every year, new superstar every year. They come and go. But if you talk to sport collectors as far as the most significant hockey card out there, how many people you think of any ages in this hobby will dispute that the Wayne Gretzky card is the bomb, is the one, is the king, or one of the king, right? Same thing with basketball. Doesn't matter how long ago Michael Jordan retired, his rookie card is still the king. Baseball, same thing, right? I can go to just about any collectible market, and it doesn't matter what the current hot trend is, the current hot player is, the current hot book is, the current hot character is. Over time, history will go back to what is known as the king. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.